Hey, this Gage. This is my response to Night Rise 73. My challenge to atheists is the title. He says in his video that he's a 14-year-old Christian. He will continue to believe the Bible until it and God are both proven wrong. And he has a statement that he believes can prove God exists. And he asks the question, if God didn't exist, how do you tell right from wrong? He also says, isn't there a universal standard for Christians? That standard is, thus saith the Lord. Please answer the question. Don't attack me, just answer the question, he says. And now for his statement. Atheists know there is a God. If evolution were true, then if your friend, family member, or neighbor messed up, it'd be totally fine to kill them. He says, I mean, they're nothing more than just a mess of chemicals and stuff. Nothing really worth saving. He says they can't kill someone close to them because they know that they are more than just a mess of chemicals. They know that they are worth something special. And they know it's wrong to kill. But only because God said it was wrong. Let me just skip around here. They know human life is worth something because it made it to be worth something. Now my real challenge is, prove to me that God doesn't exist. I'm going to jump right into his statement of faith. He says that he will continue to believe in God and the Bible until both are disproven. There's no way to disprove something completely to somebody. Now, I can't prove God doesn't exist. You can't prove he does exist. The reason I can't prove God doesn't exist is because there's no amount of knowledge I can gather on something that doesn't exist to then say that it doesn't exist. Let me explain. If I told you that an octopus walked into my house and served me spaghetti for dinner, you couldn't disprove me, because there's no way to gather evidence for that. You would have to agree that you don't know. I say that I feel God doesn't exist. I can't know that God doesn't exist, just like I can't know the Easter Bunny doesn't exist. It's just a perpetual argument. But to your other statements, you also went on in your video to say, how do you tell right from wrong? Well, right and wrong are just words that humans created to symbolize certain ethical values that best suit humanity. Not all of us can tell right from wrong. Right from wrong isn't even an actual setting, because right and wrong vary with other people. Some people can't, like I said, tell right from wrong, and they kill people and rape people, end up in prison, or harming other humans. While we're on that, the right and wrong that most humans share in common, like not to kill other people, not to do bad things to other people, is just a genetic trait. It's shared by most warm-blooded creatures. A species doesn't survive by killing one another. It's just a survival genetic trait. Some people just lack the ability to abide by those things, and they do kill people. Terrible things do happen. I don't know where you live, but in parts of the world right now, children and women are getting murdered and raped. There's probably a child somewhere laying on the side of a ditch, starving to death. You can sit in the comfortability of your home and just bask in having a good life, and so can I. I'm not saying I can't, but this whole right and wrong, fairness, and the loving grace of God is very much an illusion, because in only a small percentage of the world do people live as fulfilling as we do. So there's food for thought on that. You also go on to say in your video, atheists know there is a God. If evolution were true, then if your friend, family member, or neighbor messed up, it would be totally fine to kill them. Well, fine also is one of those words that really doesn't matter. We're physically capable of going out and killing our neighbors. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. I don't kill my neighbor because my neighbor doesn't deserve to be killed. And I know that by killing my neighbor, I will be at great risk to myself and those around me for very negative things to happen. And I would also not kill my neighbor because I feel that is wrong, personally. We talked about right and wrong and how it doesn't matter. I still have a feeling of what I feel is right for me to do and what is wrong for me to do. But what's right and wrong for me is completely different than probably a lot of people. You know, I've done a lot of things that some people consider wrong, and vice versa. But humans usually don't kill each other, like I said, because species aren't supposed to kill each other. We're not bred to kill each other. We're not built to kill each other. We're built to coexist. That's why we're so intelligent. We can gather and, just figure out problems, form ideas, create societies with good ethics, and try to live as comfortably as possible. So that is my response to your murder scenario. I really like your video. You put it together very nicely. You're young, you're 14. I'm young, I'm 19, but there's a pretty big gap there. But you had a good video. It really, I could see how it speak to people. The song was alright. But you say your real challenge. Prove to me that God doesn't exist, like we said in the beginning. There is no way for me to disprove God to you. There's no way for you to prove God to me. I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't want to sway people one way or the other if they're reluctant to do so. I feel that religion is the perfect suspension of critical thinking, to put your faith into something that I feel is obviously not true in any sense. Not true at all. I could say I respect your beliefs, but I used to respect people's beliefs. Now I look at it and I can't seem to stop thinking negatively about religious people, thinking that they lack something, maybe logic or discipline, or I can't think of a word, man. It's just one of these things where people want something so badly, so they start convincing themselves that this is true. They want it in the first place, and then it's forced upon them. And it's pounded into their heads from when they're children, like I'm sure the case is with you. When you get older, you might be able to evaluate your situation, but for some people that aren't of very high intelligence, it's very hard to kind of step outside of the zone there, step outside of their box and look at things objectively. Like I said, I like your video. Sorry I couldn't prove anything to you or disprove anything, but I hope you enjoyed my response.